I'm having a panicky day, and I was filming this whole thing about what it was about and why I'm panicky, and then I realized I don't owe anybody the vulnerability that I have. I don't owe anyone an explanation for why I am. And as I was filming it, I was getting progressively more anxious, explaining why I was anxious, and I was like, why am I doing this to myself? Being transparent and making myself uncomfortable doesn't make me a fucking hero. Maybe it helps a person here or there, but truly I'm just giving ammunition for people who hate me to weaponize against me. And, I don't deserve that. But long story short, I can't go without running. My new program's not going to work out because I waited too long to get back on the running train due to the soreness from lifting weights, and it's just horribly unbeneficial to my mental health. The running piece, the cardio piece, is what clears my mind and helps me be able to relax and focus. I had a panic attack today for the first time in a long time, and I hate it. And it was related to something, PTSD. I have a lot of triggers that happen around this time, and it's coming up, and it's hard, and I waited too long to run. That's the simple version of it all, is this season is extremely hard for me, and it's not the time to slack. Not that it was my fault. I had a lot of chronic pain this week, and my kids were sick, and we weren't sleeping. Me and Zach as a couple were not sleeping because the kids were sick and up and in our beds, and all night long there was something to do with either giving Tylenol or Benadryl or suctioning a kid or blowing noses or cleaning up vomit or whatever. All of that is a fucking shitstorm for my panic and anxiety. So all that to be said, I will be running almost every day again, because it is the only thing that keeps me from the obsessive compulsive thoughts that drive the anxiety. I don't have obsessive compulsive rituals per se, but I do have obsessive compulsive thoughts that are on a loop. I over verbalize because that's what's happening in my head, is a repeated narrative when I'm in fight or flight. When I break out of fight or flight, I can kind of freely float through my thoughts, but when I'm in fight or flight, it narrows the vision into whatever the topic of panic is. And it's really scary, and I am trying to grasp at straws and trying to find any stability that I can find, whether it's within myself or outside of myself, by reaching out to other people. But I'm trying to learn to reel it in and be in charge of my own situation. But also there's a thin line for me of not reaching out for help that I deserve and need, and isolating, because it's when I start to completely withdraw from everybody and stop talking about the things that are really going on in my head that it becomes dark and scary. And with the time of the year that is approaching, that could be really detrimental to my mental health. But imagine trying to deal with this while being a full-time student, needing a full-time exercise routine, running a full-time business, being a full-time mom, and a wife, while also trying to maintain some sort of social life. And I sanitize things on a weekly basis for my dog program. I give my dogs weekly baths, or semi-weekly, depending on the need. I'm adhering to everyone's dietary needs, as well as my cat has to get spayed on Monday. So basically I'm just floating around and doing all of these things, and it's really difficult and it's really stressful, and it's nice to be busy mentally. For the most part, the mental busyness keeps me grounded. But then there are triggers that pop up, and they disrupt my productivity, and I don't have time for it. I don't have time for a disruption in the system. I really don't. As you just see, I've just listed all the things that need to get done. And today we're supposed to be decorating the second tree when the kids come home, Christmas cookies. I'm supposed to be making puppy chow, the whole nines. Hot chocolate, whipped cream, everything. But how do you do that when, in your head, some horrible shit is playing? And it's not horrible shit, I'm having bad thoughts about anything dangerous towards myself or anyone else. It's just things that have happened to me that have happened around this time of year. My body starts to get the same feeling, and it's a feeling. It starts as this really heavy feeling like a wet blanket's wrapped around me, and then the feeling is accompanied by panic, as if I am in a dangerous situation, because my body remembers these dates. My body remembers the events that start leading up to these things. And the funny thing is I have gone times where I've been I don't know why I woke up on this specific date feeling so terrible, and I look at the date and it's actually a date that something horrible in the past has happened to me. Because your body remembers, and it does keep score. Mine does it to the specific day, and sometimes to events that led up to the specific day. There are little things that would happen prior that would highlight more anxious moments along the calendar year for me, and it does happen to increase the anxiety around those dates. It's a big hawk flying overhead. Anyways, all that to be said, you have to do what you have to do for your mental health and for your bodily health and what makes you feel the best. And sometimes that doesn't line up with your physique goals. So that's where I'm at, is not doing what I want to do with my weightlifting routine because my mental health is more important than looking a specific way. And I'm going to try to build the weightlifting on top of the running, maybe run a mile or two less and then do a light weight routine, but I don't know. It's all stressful.